When I was a teenager, around 12 years old, we lived in Surigao del Sur. Yes, in Mindanao, Philippines. And back then, around 2005, marrying young, like 13, was weirdly common in some villages in that island. I don't know if it's still the case right now, but back then, for many men's eyes, I was at the perfect wife age. So there was this one guy, probably in his 30s, he kept on expressing his love for me. And one night it was raining heavily. He and his dad, drunk, crossed the flooded river through a makeshift bamboo bridge while singing with a guitar in hand. When they got in the middle of the bridge, they fell into the river. It was flooding. We heard them screaming in the dark, rain, the current. It was all chaotic. But after a few minutes, they managed to our yard, soaking wet. They called out to my dad, "Hey, is Lizelle there? We would like to do a harana." Now, for those who don't know, harana is a Filipino traditional way of courting a lady. The man and his group will be on the yard singing with guitar and so on, musical instruments, while the lady and her family members will be looking out from the window and listening to the songs. But here's the thing, I wasn't a lady at that time. I was just 12. Seriously. Everybody was laughing and teasing, but deep inside my little angry soul, I said, "Nope, never, over my dead buddy." Over my dead buddy is an expression that means, nope, not on my watch. I will never allow that. Dream on, dream on. I will never allow that. You can only do that thing if I'm already dead. So, nope, over my dead body. It's dramatic, yes, but it is common in English real conversation. Now, my dad, he liked these guys because they are his drunk mates. They are his drinking buddies. So, he might have said yes. So, I had a plan. If worse comes to worst, if they would really let me marry this man, at the back of my head, I will definitely run away. Imagine this, you're just 12 and someone in his 30s want to have you as his wife is already a bad situation. And now they're courting me. It's already the worst, okay? And now this is the worst. If worst comes to worst, my father or my parents would say yes. I wrote to my uncle here in Cebu and I said, "Please get me out, this and that." And fortunately, after a few weeks, he came and he got me. I came back home, and that's the time I started living with my grandma. If you noticed, I emphasized the expression, if worst comes to worst. What does it mean? You're already in the bad situation, and now you're in the worst situation or the second level. If this escalates into the worst, you must prepare a plan. This means that you are thinking ahead, just like what I did. If worst comes to worst, I'll run away. If they would have said yes, then I would run away. Another example, you're planning on a trip and suddenly the news flashed, "Oh, there will be a storm." So you just said, "Okay, if worst comes to worst, let's cancel the trip." However, sometimes it's not all about the plan. It's something you deeply hope. Hopefully, it will never happen. Like in my case, in those years, I never really wanted to get married. So I told myself, God forbid I will be married to this man. Now, we used another expression, which is God forbid. So when to use it? When you seriously don't want this thing to happen. Another example, if you say, "Oh guys, you're such a cute couple. I hope you don't break up. God forbid." You don't say this, okay? That's not good. And the next is, here in Visayas, we say, "Hoy, simbako," and then we knock on the wood, like this. We knock on the "Hoy, simbako." That's our way of pushing the bad luck away, or hopefully this bad luck won't happen to us. In English, we say knock on wood. We've never seen an actual footage of a tsunami up close. Knock on wood. And knock on wood expression is not only to ward off bad luck, It can also be used if something good is happening. We hope that it will continue. But in our language, we say here priyabuyag. For example, I haven't gotten sick whole year. Knock on wood. So you say something positive and you say knock on wood so that you won't jinx it. Let's do a short recap. Over my dead body, it means no, not at all, never. If worst comes to worst, it means that you're already in the bad situation, you're at the worst part, then if it goes worst, this is what you're going to do. If worst comes to worst. God forbid means when you're trying to cancel the thought. Nope, like a prayer. You don't even want to imagine it happening. And knock on wood is used when you say something positive and you avoid jinxing it. Or when we hope something bad doesn't happen. Which one of these expressions have you said before? Or which of these expressions you heard or you just learned here but you don't understand? I am very much willing to explain them for you with much deeper sense and with more examples if ever you don't get it at all. If you want English that is real, raw, and used by real people in real conversations, follow Dear Teacher Lee. Because this is the kind of English that hits harder than a textbook ever could. Take care!